All right, this looks like it's the best it's going to be. So I'm either talking to myself or I'm talking to somebody. I see I got a like. Oh, hey, Tommy. Yeah, actually, if you did send me a chat, I didn't get it before. It just wasn't hooking up right. And I wasn't even in the chat. But here I am. Now I can see you. Oh, look at that. ES is making a move up. I really had hoped it sold off today. Could have picked up some nice premium in those puts. And that is what I'm looking for. What's up? I don't know, man. Looks like the Dow's up a little bit. Not up in the green, but up off the lows. Let's take a look at some earnings or some equities. Tesla's down, Nvidia's down. Look at Amazon, man, slammed. AMC, ooh, AMC. Is it testing that tech's getting beat up a little bit? Oh, did it look and sound good? Yeah, I guess there were a few hang-ups, but looks like things are working out now with the stream. It looks like it's working good. So, looking at AMC, yeah, we're just still testing that line. Even on the 240. The 240 minute is a chart that I was taught to trade off of by a futures trader. And he would use that chart because it gave a better depiction of the daily movements of futures, because futures traded different hours than equities. And it's actually a pretty good chart to watch. And I find like active stocks like AMC that trade in the after hours work pretty well with a 240-minute chart as opposed to a daily chart. Just gives you a little more insight. So you could see that reverse trend. And I was saying it's getting a little long in the tooth, but on the daily, but on the 240 it looks like it has some strength. So I could see the histograms on the 240 fading out. And I see that it gave us the finger on the red side, but it looks like it gave us the finger. No, it gave us the finger on the downside. Really light finger. And then kind of took off from there. Well, not took off, but moved up a little bit. So after that finger to the downside, it should really make an aggressive move to the upside, but it didn't. So that's interesting. I know I have a bias on this thing at this point, so I wouldn't trade it, but I'm trying to look at it objectively, and it looks like it might be getting ready for a good short. AMC. Apple's getting beat. It's a good double top with a divergence on the 240. You can see the same on the daily. 240 is just a little more dramatic. I think I might start working with that more often. 10-year bonds. It's moving into bearish territory on the interest rates are moving into bearish territory on the 60-minute, but that's probably a response to the soft inflation data, coming in a little less than expected. So that was probably the initial move on bonds. Which I guess is an indication that the Feds are going to continue on their purchasing program, so thus creating some demand in bonds and forcing the price up. And the daily looks like it's on an upswing. We're going to just have to hold a neutral bias. But the interesting thing about bonds is it can consolidate forever. And then when it hits some volatility, man, you can make some money. S&P. I mean, there's a divergence, a daily divergence. Yes, that is what I mean. But seems like it has strength. I guess for my own gratification, I would like it to pull back so I get some premium in those puts. Closing out July too, man. July was a really good month, man. A lot of premium in the puts, so my spread trades made a lot of money, and quite a few decent directional trades for a summer trading month. I hope to see more of the same next month. Gotta love those directional trades, man. I gotta get we gotta get the Discord going. I think we may have everything set up for next week. Got about 15 minutes till the party starts. Anybody have anything to talk about or bring up? I know we got a few guys out there. Bring in the noise. I never get assigned when playing those spreads. Those spreads don't get assigned. I mean, worst case scenario, the market trades into the spreads and I take a max loss. But that's never happened to me, and I hate even saying that, but that's never happened to me. I have traded into the spread. I have had the markets go into the spread, but I put on a defensive position and I play an equity down. They were puts, and just based on the technicals, I was confident that the market wasn't going to hold there. And I had a few days, and all I needed was a bounce, and it bounced. So I closed out my directional play, made a killing on the defense of that spread, and then the market bounced off of the spread and went up, and at expiration, they expired worthless. So I got to keep the premium. But I probably, arguably, could say that I have 95% success with them. Not that, 95% of the time I'm not defending them, but maybe only 5% of the time I would take a stop on them. And I put a very big stop on them. So even if I took a stop, and I'm really being conservative, playing devil's advocate, I can probably argue that I do better than that, but I would be comfortable just off the top of my head saying I'm about 95% accurate on those. It's really, really an excellent way to trade. It's consistent, it's comfortable, it's very little stress. And then really when you're at your most vulnerable in that spread is when I normally, or I have consistently made a lot of money because of the defensive action. So it kind of works for me. So you have two options. You can just put a stop in there, Um, so I don't know if I popped out. You have two options. You can put a stop in there and just play the stop, and that's fine. And you very rarely get hit on your stop. Usually it works out. The stops are big, so it eats up a lot of work that you did. But ultimately, in the long game, it's a very profitable strategy. Or you could be proactive and just play the deltas and neutralize the position, or go heavy on the delta and profit on defending the position. But it's a matter of understanding the charts, how to set your charts up, read your charts, and knowing where to do it. So it's not an original idea. Lots of people out there do it. Maybe the defensive part, very few do it because it's not a trader's position. It's an investor and a hedge fund and a strategist kind of position, but the defense of the positions are more a trader's mindset. So if you can couple the two, they're very profitable. And I'll work with everybody. As a matter of fact, a guy approached me recently who is in the industry and manages a lot of money and wanted me to tune him up on doing that and set him up. And I mean, I cut him a deal where I said, look, I'll hold your hand. I'll basically be trading for you for a period of time where you'll get enough exposure to the market and probably see enough that you can do this yourself comfortably. And the guy started disputing my fee. I was like, dude, I mean, you came to me, first of all. It's not something I normally do. I'm doing this because you're a friend and I'm taking the time. And even the price I suggested, I mean, that's a friend's price. I mean, it's like not enough money to really rattle me out of bed. And I mean, in the matter of 3 months, he with pittance, he would make that money back, no problem. Just a small, relative to what he represents, a small portion, just to show him how it's done. And in that small portion, in 3 months, he would have made the money back that he would have had to pay me for my time. So anyway, I don't know why I'm sharing that. It was just something that I experienced last night. But I mean, it was all very amenable, and I understand. Hey, no problem. That's fine. It's not like I'm really looking for more to do in my life, But he approached me, and I know he's been having some trouble, and I've been trying to help him work things out. But this time it's a matter of my intellectual property and my time. And I mean, he's got to be motivated too to put the work in. I don't want to see him changing horses in the middle of the stream. You decide that this is what we're going to do. You take up my time. You better make a commitment. And that dollar value, I know he would have been committed. But he chose not to do it. But hopefully he doesn't hurt himself, and maybe he smartens up. Maybe he smartens up. Not usually the case. I don't know. I looked at it's a funny thing. Like when I had the investment bank, I had maybe 150 retail brokers, guys representing the public, and genuinely everybody tried to do a good job. I mean, there's a little bias in that arena because these guys work on commission. But ultimately, I think I could be pretty proud of the guys who worked at my firm. And you don't know how many times I defended cases because clients try to get their commission back. I mean, really, portfolios that were profitable, and did very well, outperformed the market, but just felt that the broker took too much in commission. And this is a conversation that you have when you manage the portfolio and execute transactions. So no transaction is executed without a client understanding exactly what his costs are, and they agree to it. And then go along for years, and then throw a lawsuit in there to try to get the commissions back from the brokers. It was unbelievable. I mean, a lot of times the people would complain, and then lawyers would contact me to try to work it out, and I just demonstrate that, look, the guy did very well. It was it was fine. There's no reason to return the commissions. They were well within the guidelines, and everything was discussed. And the lawyers, a lot of times the lawyers didn't take the cases, and it just fell to the side. But there have been times that I sat before an arbitration board and had to defend successful portfolios, after years of clients participating in the market through my firm and understanding what their costs were. So anyway, some people, that's what that comes back to. But I mean, I don't have to tell you, Matt, and I mean, I'm sure you're dealing with people, and you see all sorts of personalities, And dude, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but based on cultures, like when I knew people were of different cultures, I knew exactly what the relationships were going to be like. There's an underlying consistency to cultures, and you can anticipate personality traits based on cultures, and what to expect. Even based on location. I mean, what goes on the East Coast as opposed to what goes on the West Coast and things like that. It's kind of interesting. But I mean, you really can't delve into it because I've said it before, man. Truth is like poetry, and everybody hates poetry. And obviously not my quote, but it's one that I could really relate to. So anyway, early in the day, and I'm already babbling. We got 5 minutes till the party starts. And what do we got? Let's take a quick look at the futures and see what's progressing. All right, we're back down. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, man. We floated up on the reports, and inflation's good, but it feels like the market wants to go down. Tech's probably going to drag it down, but keep in mind too that Europe posted a 2% expansion on their economy. They were in a recession. Usually how it happens is we start churning out some bucks, and our economy moves along, and then Europe is like the afterburners, and then Asia comes along, and they fire up after Europe, and it just progresses and propels our economy. So I'm not really worried, aside from the fact that Yellen's the Treasury Secretary. That just makes me nervous. I loved Munchen. I don't know how to say his name. Maybe somebody could type it out phonetically for me in the chat. But I love that guy. He was so proactive. I mean, I don't know if I want him dating my daughter or have dinner with the guy, but he was so proactive, understood the economy. He's an old bond trader and knew exactly what to do. And just kept this thing steamrolling, man. I'll tell you. I know Trump put a terrible face on us worldwide, but I wouldn't have minded another 4 years of people pointing their fingers at us for these guys to just fuel up the economy a little bit. And then you know, rolled over into somebody softer to kind of smooth out all the damage that was done from the last administration. You know, I think we came to a soft administration too soon, especially with China. I think we need a real hard ass right now, somebody that everybody hates in office to deal with China right now. All right, I could use a good pullback today, man. 30 points is already pretty aggressive. I don't want to see a 70-point pullback. Another 40 points from here would put us at about, 43.40? I'm looking at the futures, so they're probably a little higher. So SPX, 70 points. That would be 330, 350, 350. Yeah, I could do 350. Nope, I guess I'm a minute behind you, Tommy, because now I got 1 minute to the bell. Should I read into that, man? Are you like, stop babbling? VIX is up. I'll take that as good advice if you're telling me to stop babbling. All right, we got a few people popping on. Feel free to say good morning. And oh, there it is. There it is. We're off and running. All right, nothing too aggressive. We're not even down to 30. All right, sir. I'll let you know if you miss anything. Nobody pulling any triggers that quick. All right, that's jumping up. Jump up there. Jump up there. Come on. Give me a little bit of a sell-off. It's a little soon in the market, but kind of interested in the breakout on that 30-second bar. Oh, there it is. Composite's trying to make a move up. Man, I've done it again. There we go. All right, so nothing aggressive right at the open. I mean, we opened down and we're just kind of churning around there. Doesn't look like it really knows what it wants to do yet. Even the Dow and the composite are just churning around over here. As a matter of fact, the Russell too. All four markets look exactly the same. Okay, now the Dow's making a little move to the upside. We got energy pushing up and futures, finance pushing up. That's given some strength to the S&P. Yeah, it looks like we're going to break that high. Got the 30-second momentum rolling around a little bit. That 2 and that 5 minutes still look painfully bullish, bearish. And we're kind of neutral on the 60. Although we put in a lower high on the momentum, we have a divergence too on the 60-minute momentum. But that's going to have to break around 376 to trigger that divergence. There goes the move up. Composite's not following it. I didn't take that break to the upside. I hope I didn't make a mistake, but I can't see any support from the composite. And it looks like the Dow's struggling a little bit. On that break, it should have just really ran. Could just grind its way up. Which is what it looks like it's doing. Oh, come on, you should hit that. Oh, that's a drag. Well, actually, where is that? Yeah, it's 4 points. I wouldn't have minded that 2 points in my pocket. Yeah, we're just grinding up. I mean, the Dow's only down 14, so it doesn't look like today is a sell-off day. We got 128 on the S&P, on the composite. That's probably the most aggressive. Percentage-wise, it's almost 1%. But the Dow looks like it wants to go positive. Dow already closed its gap. Two-minute momentum is rolling around on that SPX. I think we're gonna push our way up to that 420. Russell's closing its gap, about to go positive. Amazon's still getting beat on. Apple down $1. Microsoft down $1.75. Facebook down 2.5. Google down 32. Yeah, it's funny. XOM. I think they announced today they're expecting better than expected earnings. Yeah, we're just grinding up on the S&P. I'll tell you, this is the market that just won't quit. Give her a half hour and then I'll see where I'm at. We're flirting with yesterday's open right now. And we're breaking into yesterday's bar, closing the gap. Closing the gap on the daily. Coming into Thursday's trading range, and even yesterday's opening range. Yeah, not what I expected, man. I expected a sell-off in the morning, but there we are, just grinding up. We're on a bullish trend on the 1 minute and the 2 minute and the 30-second. And we just parabolic on the 5 minute. The Dow's closed its gap. Looks like the composite's trying to. That's 108 points to close that up. We only have 14 points on the S&P to close up that gap. Although you got a lot of big tech that's still down. But it looks like even that's clawing its way back. And the daily momentum is just getting negative. I mean, you know, I just wish it would have sold off and fleshed this thing out. So I didn't take any positions. We talked about the break of this high. Hopefully somebody out there took it. I didn't take it. Which is really a violation of my rules. I should have just taken it. And you'd be up 10 points. So that would have been $500 a contract. So the lesson of today is follow your rules. So the Dow put in a double top and it's just trading off a little bit, probably going into consolidation for the rest of the day. It's not going to be an aggressive day. Did you? Good. I'm glad you did, Tommy. It's good to be in the game. Probably hitting a little resistance around that 406 area. 4406 on the SPX. then even that 60-minute momentum is divergent. Blah. Market just died off. Bull flag on the 1 minute. No. I don't know if I'm just behind you, but I don't see it right now. Oh, it didn't pan out? Yeah. You want to look. Oh, well, I mean, the pattern should be pretty consistent. But when you want those long, strong moves up, you know, when you're looking at those flags on the pole area, 2 is really good, like 2 consecutive strong moves up. But if you get one long, strong move up, a little consolidation, that's a pretty good flag to play. Looks like you're putting in a little bit of a top on the 30-second bar. Russell went positive, it's up 5 points. Dow's positive, it's up a little under a point. Financials went positive. Energy's lagging a little bit. S&P's the weakest, but it looks like it's working to close that gap. We're at about half a fill right now. In theory, that's about all you could ask. One minute momentum is still positive. The 5 minute looks like it's turning positive. It's already a 13-point move. Would have been a nice play to get into. Dow's topping out a little bit, but the Russell's still strong, and the composite is still strong. See no reason to close that long on the SPX yet. Yeah, we're just going to grind our way up. I'm pretty confident we're going to close that gap. Hitting that resistance around the 44.0613. Looks like Dow's going into a little consolidation. If it breaks to the upside out of that consolidation, it should drag the rest of the markets up. There she goes. Giving us a little bit of a roll around. So we got the opening day high and low. You know what? That one's close enough that I'm just going to adjust that. So we broke the opening range. And that's a trade to the upside. And we're around the midway point of that gap. So this is a vicarious trade. I mean, we're up a buck already on the breakout out of the opening range. Probably do a last kiss if we're going to take off from here. I took one off already once we had that solid buck in. That's an ominous looking doji. Come on. Yes. Taking another third off here. I'm just leaving a third to run. I got into the party late. time is it? 10 o'clock? Shouldn't get a single top. Oh, that hurt. Looks like I'm gonna get knocked out at a break even on my second. Man, a great run, and I made pittance. Alright, sometimes you have bad trading days. Well, not my second, this is actually my last third, my last unit of my position. Yeah, lots of good happened, Ant. But I missed the first move. I got in on the break of the opening range high and got 2 off. Now it's doing exactly what I expected it to do. We'll see if it turns around and gets bloody at this point. Could just be the midday reversal, but I really don't like the way that 30-minute looks. Kind of close that gap and it's trading off. Well, yeah, man. If the SPX is going to turn down, SPY is going to turn down. But you took some profits, right, Tommy? I know you got into that nice move. Good, 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 good. We shall see, we shall see. This may just be the midday reversal. And then she'll start moving up again. Ooh, today's going to be a cooker. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hey, that's fine. Make a little something. Um, yeah, you know, you made a little something, and you had a good trade. I'm positive for the day, but I'd still say this was a bad trading day for me because I didn't take that initial move, which was consistent with how I trade in my rules. I should have taken it, and yeah, you know. So I mean, still, it's a money day, but I'm still going to go back, analyze it a little bit, think about it, because a bad day is a day that you don't stick to your rules. So it's not a matter of the money, man. It's not how much money you make. You had a good trade. A good professional trade. This second trade I took also was a good trade. I mean, it adhered to my rules, but it should have been a better trading day for me. So one thing, a tool that you could use if you're really into your trading that I use is you record your sessions. So, and I don't mean like just on screen, but I'm actually recording myself right now. So now I can go back and I can look at what I was saying, what I was thinking, what I was doing, and why I had a bad trading day. You know, which I mean, in my mind, I understand what it is, but yeah, you know, it's good to go through that and sit down and understand it. And it was a tool I was taught years ago, and I mean, when you had big video cameras over your shoulder videotaping you. So it's catching your session, and you could analyze it. Now it's pretty easy. You could just use a GoPro. It's an interesting reversal. Yeah, you definitely need to journal your trades. It's not difficult when you trade the way I'm demonstrating, because you have one instrument that you're using, Well, and you what the heck? You have a few setups that you use, so it's easy, to label them. I mean, it just gets. Where you can get a little more complex is, just talking about your frame of mind or your methodology or what you were thinking and things like that. A lot of guys have hundreds of different reasons to get into a stock, and the journals are chaotic and hard to follow. So we're at the 50% retracement. I kind of feel like we're just going to continue the initial move, which was to the downside. The 30-minute looks pretty darn negative. Yeah, pretty darn. There's something I don't normally say. It's getting to me, man. YouTube is getting to me. At that 55% retracement mark, looks like we're pushing down to that 60. We're just grinding our way back down. So we did half a gap fill and then we turned around. I mean, we may push down for the rest of the day. That 30-minute is pretty negative. Oh, we don't want to do that. That 60-minute just looks indecisive. We may just turn around here. Where my mouse is dancing around, or my pointer's dancing around, well, there you go. You can see the 60-minute, it's just a doji, long tail to the upside, medium tail to the downside. we bounced off that 61 retracement. So if we're going to continue our march up, we should do it right here. I don't know about an entry using the Fibonacci, but well, okay. So the entry would have been the midday reversal, right? And that starts between 10:15 and 11 o'clock. So here it is right here. You can see the double top right there, right? So that would have been, if you were long, that double top would have been your indication to close your long. But you also could have gone, because of the hour, you also could have gone short. And the midday reversals usually come a little earlier on Fridays. But during the week, you probably see them around 10:30 or after. So this is where you would have wanted to take a conservative entry, an aggressive entry, I'm sorry, on the setup at the 44.10, or conservatively, you would have waited to break this pivot right here at the 44.08. So you see this top with this high on the Mac Daddy, and you see another top where the Mac Daddy is fading off, and that's your indication that we're coming into a sell-off. So it makes the double top, and then you take the entry. So now, for my liking, my entry, so it looks like we may just consolidate in here, but I would just watch this low and see if we break this low and continue that march down, right? Because we came into the market this morning with the market down 30, Amazon down aggressively, everything down aggressively. So what we got was is, in essence, we got this aggressive move down and the retrace, and that looks like it's what happened. And if we put a fib, well, let's just go, well, you know what, I'd even go fib from here, and I bet we're going to be close to the 50% mark on the retrace. Think, and there you go. We went right to the 61.8 and then turned around. So this move down can be a continuation of the sell-off that we were seeing this morning. And I'm watching the break of the low to see if we break the low. Because I think that this is going to be a, wow, that was quite a sell-off kind of day. So we'll just watch it and see how it plays out. You know, this is a good move, and I'm a little cautious about entering somewhere over here. But if you're looking at the 5-minute, you can see here's a bear flag, here's a bear flag. This bear flag will trigger at the 97.37 point, and it actually triggered. So now if it goes back here, it's a failed bear flag. But if it turns around and makes its move down again, you could probably take it once it breaks that 97.37 point. But, you know, no need to chase the move either. If it breaks the low, you might have a good move ahead of you. I mean, you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4 pivots already on the 30-second. I mean, that's why it's rounding out and consolidating right here. The retrace is a little bit aggressive at this point, you know, because it broke that 61%, looking for that 76%. So, you know, as far as a value trade of going long down here, I'm not comfortable with that either. And at this point, we're still in a downtrend because we have this lower high, we have a lower low, and it looks like it's putting in a lower high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 67, 68, 69, 70, 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82, 83, 84, 85, 86, 87, 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100, 101, 102, 103, 104, 105, 106, 107, 108, 109, 110, 111, 112, 113, 114, Russell's only up $1 now. Looks like it might try to go negative. Financials are pushing down, energy's pushing down. The Dow is bottoming out a little bit. Composite's still feeling a little heavy. On the 60-minute, we're really just neutral. There's really nothing very negative about the 60-minute. So this may be it really for the day. And then maybe Monday we take a spanking. So the trend has changed on the 1 minute. Kind of looks like it's making a little bowl over there. Yeah, it looks like we're going into consolidation. I don't think we're going to see anything bloody today. Had our morning move, nice reversal, and now we're range bound. Hey, Miss Carrie. So now you're sorry the week's over? You know what? I enjoy trading too, but I don't think I share that sentiment. Um, I like Fridays. I like hippieing out over the weekend. Although I have to say that I do sit down and I usually end up dissecting a company or two over the weekend. Like when I'm just sitting around, I just start working on something. But that's usually like in the evenings. Hey, you know, there's something I never touched on with everybody, or I might have in the beginning, but meditation is a big part of my trading program because it helps me detach, from the emotions of greed and the need of money and control my objectivity. And you really want to achieve a sense of peaceful trading. And so anyway, one way that I do that is through meditation. Now, I'm not saying your goal should be able to dry towels on your back or levitate, but it's good exercise or a good workout for your brain to be able to control your waves and go from I think it's beta to delta, and it slows your mind down and just brings you at peace. And that's how you want to trade. You want to be at peace when you trade. So anyway, I would recommend that in addition to studying trading, that you study meditation. And there's all different practices. I've actually been meditating since I'm 12 years old, and I guess a lot of my practices are along the lines of Buddhism. But I used to fight too in my youth, not street fight, but compete fight in martial arts. So some of the Korean styles, which was mainly a Japanese style that I used to fight. But I studied a lot of different styles, and the Korean styles taught me some really interesting meditations also. So that might be an avenue for you if you have an interest and want to do something as far as exercise. Yeah, study some Korean martial arts, and a lot of the if you can find the old school senseis, a big part of it is meditation. So anyway, I definitely recommend that people start understanding what meditation's about and everything. And there's no mysticism to it. It's really just a matter of relaxing and calming yourself and getting control of your mind and going from what I believe is an alpha wave to a delta wave. And I may be wrong on which the waves are, but in spirit, like when we were infants, our minds moved at the delta wave, which is a slower wave, and that's why we were able to take in so much information, learn language and things like that, and that's why children learn quicker than adults, because as we age, we speed our minds up into what I believe is the alpha wave or the beta wave. So that, yeah, that's something I recommend everybody look into and understand. And I mean, it's the same thing you achieve through prayer and stuff like that. Whatever your fancy is, but I mean, it's the same thing. It's the ability to just slow your mind down, slow your body down, try to come and be at peace with yourself. And it's good to do that before you start your trading day in the morning, so that you walk into your trading day with that sense of peace. And I mean, every time we're off the air, I keep thinking about how I want to bring up that topic and just let everybody know that that is something that I focus on. And it's something I genuinely believe in. And if you study trading, if you and are interested in a lot of the old timers, which is interesting to me. But a lot of the old time traders kind of talk about meditation, and the role it plays in their lives. And the reason I find it interesting is, so when I started meditating, I was probably under 12, because actually when I tried to place it, I remember where I was living, and it was probably early to mid 70s, and my mother said, well, that's fine, but don't tell anybody, because back then, it was just a very weird thing to do. And a lot of these old traders that I've studied and listened to are older than me, and they were turned on to that, which it seems really outside the industry, because it's a very superficial monetary industry. But a lot of but I'm talking like, the superstars, and they were very spiritual. So anyway, and you'll see that if you get into what you're doing, and you read about all these guys and things like that, you'll come across some people who bring that up and make a point to add that to their instruction. And then it could get very interesting, if you get into meditation. I mean, like your thoughts, your visions, and things like that. It gets very interesting, and then you realize how big, I guess, the spirit is, or the force, or the energy. It's a lot bigger than we actually realize, and a lot more capable. So I'm just watching it churn away. I thought we were going to really make a move to break the lows and trade off. I thought it was going to be an oh my god day, but it looks like we're just consolidating. I mean, the day is still young, and the afternoon could look bloody, or it could actually be real green. I mean, you have a very clear arena to break out. And if you look at the chart I'm about to enlarge right now, these white lines are today's opening range. It's hard to see right here, but these white lines are today's opening range. But I would watch, for the upside, I would watch the break of the 44.12.25, and then the downside, I would watch this 43, 89, 65, and I wouldn't really take many trades inside the range because it looks like it's just going to grind around there. All right, so yeah, Anthony, I just read that you've tried to meditate, but your mind wanders way too much. It's a chore to keep it clear. What you're not doing is accepting that those few seconds that you did meditate was your meditation, right? So it's like any other muscle in your body or any muscle in your body. You could lift 100 pounds one time when you begin, and that's it. And then you keep going at it, and before you know it, you're lifting 100 pounds 8 times. So the only trick is that you need to accept that those few brief seconds was your meditation, and that's fine. And now you've meditated, and walk away from it. I like to meditate in the morning, and I meditate in the evening. And I mean, I could sit there for an hour 45 minutes. Sometimes I have to set a little bell to make sure that I don't get too lost. But again, I've been doing it since I'm 12 years old. So enjoy the fact that you got those few seconds, and then go back and do it again. So your life is easier because all you have to do is worry about meditating a few seconds a day, and just stay on the path. And before you know it, it's going to get longer and longer. And when your mind starts wandering, you don't have to end your meditation, right? Because basically nothing exists in a vacuum. So when you empty your mind, it's going to fill up with something, and it's going to fill up with the thoughts that are in your head. And all you have to do is let those thoughts run through your head. Don't worry about the clarity. You got a few seconds of clarity, and okay, so yeah, now I'm looking at, is meditation blanking your mind or letting your thoughts run wild? Yes, that's what meditation is. Letting your thoughts run wild, and then blanking your mind, and then letting your thoughts run. You know what I mean? So you need to do that. You know, you ever train a dog and the dog's nuts and you can't get him to pay attention, and there's a saying that you just have to run the stupid out of them. They got all this energy, everything pent up, and you just run them. Run them to death. Well, not to death, obviously, but, run them till they're exhausted. And then have a short training session with them. Because when they're exhausted, they're not going to be distracted and run around, but they can't focus too long. So then you have that short training session. So that's the same thing you're going to do with your mind. So sit down, get comfortable, work on relaxing your body, relaxing all your muscles and everything like that. And then just close your eyes and let your mind do whatever your mind wants to do. You'll see funny shapes, funny images. You'll have thoughts run through it all. It may take you a month to run through all of this stuff, but eventually you're going to run through it all, and your mind's going to stop doing that, stop racing. And you're gonna get longer, peaceful moments. And thoughts will seep back into your mind, and let them run through, and then just brush them gently out of your mind. Go back to the peace, and then let the other thoughts run through. So basically, that's what's keeping you stressed up. You have all of these thoughts that need to run through your mind, and you don't have the opportunity to do that. We don't have the opportunity to do that, right? And figure, we as humans are 10 million years old. How old is a clock? A clock's pretty old, but it's not as old as we are. And how old is the practice of segregating our lives into what it is now, minutes? You've got something to do every 15 minutes. It's very unnatural. So in a natural life, you had plenty of time to sit on the side of a mountain and stare off over the trees, and a lot less going on in your life to clear out of your mind, without any intent of doing it. You would just naturally do that. You would just naturally sit at the top of a mountain, wrapped in your animal pelts, and just look off over the mountain, with really nothing but damn, where did I leave my club, running through your head. Now, we have all this nonsense running through our heads because of what we've done with ourselves in society. So that's the short of the long, man. It's what we're doing is very unnatural. We really haven't evolved to do this. When you look at how evolution works and how much time we've been a species, and how much time, what aspect of that time we've started to segregate our lives into smaller and smaller pieces, on a schedule. I mean, just think back before fax machines. I mean, business took a hell of a lot longer because we were mailing documents and receiving documents, and somebody had to type the documents out. I mean, things started really hopping once we got fax machines. I mean, contracts and business was done in a day. We got computers and printers, and this shit took off. Now, everything's internet. We can share documents via the internet. We can create them right there. We can interact via the internet, and things just bang, 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 bang. So our technology has outpaced our ability to evolve, and that's really what's clogging up your head. So again, get back to being a good animal. Yep, that's it. Let it pass. It needs to process. Your mind needs to process all of these things. You'll find your dreams will become a lot more productive also, when you process all your thoughts in your consciousness. It's really great. I think if I had the opportunity to just meditate all the time, I probably would do that. I spent some time in Laos and chilled out at a Buddhist temple for a while with the monks, with the incredible deep the contra, the mantra meditation. Contra would be visual, and it was an incredible experience. I don't know if I ever shared that with everybody, but in Laos, I mean, it's a Buddhist country, so, and I was in the middle of the jungle, in this hut. And at about 5 in the morning, you would hear these gongs, these great gongs that are like on mountaintops all over the place. And the Buddhist monks used to go out there and just hit the gongs. And in your sleep, you'd hear this gentle doom, doom, doom. And then within minutes of the gong, the whole country smelled like incense. It was just really amazing, really amazing. Laos. And the women there are really beautiful, but huge feet, man, and huge hands. They look like hobbits, So I was there with my girlfriend, who is now my baby mama, and we were commenting that they had hobbit feet. Okay, so we're making a move towards the opening range low today. So everything we put on today, we're kind of giving back. Well, you're not negative 2 puts, you're naked 2 puts, which is a terrible position to be in. So hopefully you're not are you using real money, man? Oh, good. I'm glad you bought him back right away. Yeah, your first hit is your easiest hit. Oh, this is unfortunate, though. This is making a move down, and I already did my spreads. Well, it's not unfortunate, but I would have been able to capture a lot more premium. Yeah, I'm just not gelling today. debit. Yeah, you probably fat fingered it. What on earth are they doing here? Yeah, it's a pretty good retracement. Right there. We can watch and see if we break that low. So anyway, Anthony, yeah, you sold a naked put, and that's a very risky situation. Which means somebody can put the stock to you at the strike price, and theoretically the market can move up indefinitely. That's a pretty strong bounce back right there. Oh yeah, this market doesn't want to fall. Alright, I can live with that. You probably wouldn't have been able to get that order off Um, well, actually, I don't know what your equity is in your account and the size of the order, but the margin requirement on that might have been foreboded. So you might not have made that mistake in a live account, but you have to be careful. And again, you did the right move. As soon as you see a mistake, you close it. So if anybody is new to this channel, hit the subscribe and hit the bell and hit the like, because it's nice to tip your host. And we're off-grid trading, and that's exactly what we're doing. I'm off the grid, and I'm trading, making a living, and living the way I wish. But few folks out there haven't dished up the likes. Throw me a like, would you? It goes a long way in helping me promote the channel. And the more I promote the channel, the more people come on and chat, the more content it is, the more fun we have. Not to mention we make money. Very interesting day, though. Yep. There's a cliche that we always use: is your first hit is your easiest hit. Now, a few people jumped on the likes wagon. I appreciate it. There's a few more out there that could throw me a like. If you're not too busy, just reach over, hit that thumbs up, help me stack up those likes, and actually throw me a question. The participation goes a long way. It adds to the content, gives me something to talk about. Otherwise, I just sit here celebrating myself. That's got to get boring. Or at least that's what my daughters tell me. I just got my ass ripped yesterday for being a dad. Oh man, I'll tell you, God did it to me on purpose. And yet, I was, well, I guess I'd have to say I was a womanizer. I don't know. I enjoyed women, and fortunately they liked me too. So, but I think that this is the price I pay for how I behaved. I mean, I wasn't bad to women, but I just liked women, so I liked lots of women. And I think that 2 daughters is my karmic reward. And now I don't like women anymore. No, that's not true. It's just a difficult thing, and I mean, you're so different. Men and women are so different, and you can't say what's right or wrong, but what I know is what's right for a woman is not right for a man. It's amazing. I think the book was Women Are From Mars, Men Are From Jupiter, or Men Are From Mars, Women Are From Jupiter. It was like a big book in the 70s. I've never read it, but it was generally the idea that we're such different creatures. And dude, I get reminded of that regularly. Yeah, 2 daughters are a punishment. And you know what, man? They're real smart. Like almost superhuman smart. They're very beautiful, and this is not coming from a dad, but this is coming from a womanizer. Yeah, they're beautiful women, and I don't know, man. They are just pure woman, you know, just emotional bundles, and oh, men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's a rough thing, man. I mean, 3 women in a house. Um, you know, it's just, especially with my personality type, it's just interesting. And a lot of my friends have mastered the art of being numb. I'm not the only one out of my friends who have a majority house full of women. One of them, it's solely women, and the other have a wife, 2 daughters, and a son. Um, and they just mastered the art of being numb. My friends, I just can't do that, and I can get sucked into the emotional games. No, they don't want to be well, actually, they're both artists. One is a composer, and the other one is she's young, but she's a graphic artist. But I mean, obsessed, and that's all that she's about. And she's I mean, that's what she's going to pursue, and she's really a talented little girl or young woman. But the composer actually writes algorithms for trading, or has. I mean, she's she's into computer sciences, but she's into music and things like that, and writing and stuff. But they have really no interest in monetary success. They prefer the arts and stuff like that. I mean, they live well now, but they're perfectly comfortable in a very conservative lifestyle, and just focusing on their arts, and that's what they're pursuing. Or I shouldn't say they live well now, but when they're with me, they live well. But like my oldest is now developing her independence, and she's very comfortable with a modest lifestyle. And she actually was going to school for biomedicine, and she was like a 4.0, and she just wrote me this letter like, this is just not what I want to do, and I have no interest in monetary success. We're breaking what low, man? What are you looking at? No, I don't see the support either. It looks like we're just range bound, just going back and forth. Actually, on the get up here, the 1 minute, this kind of looks a little head and shoulderish, and the momentum is getting strong. So I don't know if our chat is behind, but it looks like we might be making a move to the upside. Although immediately right here, it looks like it's tapering off. So you could watch this low, but this is just chop. There's nothing, there's nothing here that I would look to trade. You don't want to try to catch every move. It could be all over the place. If we break the low of the day, that's going to make for a nice move. And really, I mean, just in this channel, I don't know that I want to take a trade. This is the 2 minute. I guess I could go between the high and the low of the day. If it touched here and showed me a good double bottom, I might look to trade it to the top. What are we talking about here? That's 41.12 to 39. So you're talking about 22 points. That's nice. I mean, if it touches here and bounces off, you could easily pick up 12-point run in either direction. But to trade here in the middle, this is where you get hurt. You did get all excited, huh? Well, she actually, what I was saying about my daughter, she programs algorithms. See, so now we have really a consolidation, right? Because we went up, we made this lower low, a lower high, a lower low, and now an equal high. So really that's a consolidation. This is probably going to make a higher low, and then an equal or lower high, and just chop it around. Oh, everybody shared their likes with me. I appreciate that. I really appreciate that. And if there's any newbies out there, man, jump on the chat. Introduce yourself. Ask a question. Call me a name. Hit the subscribe, hit the bell, hit the thumbs up. We're really just coming into the lunch hour, and I mean, it looks like we're just range bound for the rest of the day. It doesn't look like it's going to be a bloody day, although again, it could make that move. It got a little scary. Little scary. Yeah, see, we're just grinding around in here. Hanging around downtown. So after this, I gotta pack everything up. Head for the hills. I was looking at the weather in the mountains. In the evenings, it's in the 50s. I mean, I'm living over here. Like, in the evenings, it's in the 80s. So it's going to be some good sleeping with some sweet smelling air. But I'll tell you, being down here, the humidity, I mean, my skin is like a baby's ass. Smooth, it's tight, it's moist. Oh, I missed that, Tommy. Oh my God, yeah. All dads get ripped at some point. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, you know, that's it. I mean, I accept it. That's cool. Yeah, you know, they're going through their things. I mean, well, actually, the young one is still all about the daddy, so I'm still getting to enjoy that. But the older one is, you know, that 20-something, yeah, you know-it-all kind of mentality, which is cool. I mean, that just mellows with age and a few beatings, not physical beatings, but, yeah, you know, beatings in life. And then it mellows them out, and they get a little more pragmatic. But she's an interesting little creature. She's weird. Yeah, you know, I mean, just really a genius when it comes to music. And she does writing too, and short stories, and that's how she makes a few bucks. and just interesting little person. And incredibly smart, and it like blows my mind. And I'm very judgmental, and it just blows my mind how smart this chick is. And yet you understand her idiosyncrasies because she's so smart. So it's interesting, just interesting to see what they're like. And their mom is smart, so I shouldn't really be surprised. She's a smart woman too, a capable woman, but not like freaky smart. And this person is freaky smart. Where the youngest, when she was born, my girlfriend and I used to joke that we should buy her a broom, so that we know she has a vocation. Because the first one, she was speaking clearly well before she was 2 years old. She wasn't even walking, and she was speaking, and she was very analytical even at that age. But the older one, I don't think she was talking until she was like 11, and so much so that my mother drove me crazy to go have her checked out. She's like, there's something wrong, it's too long, she's not talking, you have to have her checked out. And I was like, look, man, doctors find problems. The kid's fine, she's taking her time, maybe she doesn't get it, all right, maybe she's a little slow or what have you. But, and what was funny was when she was born, she was always cooing and kind and making noise and constantly making noise. And up until she started speaking, she was always making noise. So we really thought she would be speaking quickly. And it just took her forever. And again, so much so that my mother, every day she would call me, driving me crazy over this kid. And then ultimately she started speaking. She turned out to be I didn't realize how smart she was until recently, because she wasn't really into academics. Where the older one, she would come walking in at when she was 5 years old and be like, hey Dad, you want to hang out? I'm like, sure, what do you want to do? She'd go, let's do workbooks. I'm like, oh dude, no way. I didn't like doing that when I was in school. Let's do workbooks. That was her idea of having a good time. Doing workbooks. Yep, kids blow your mind. But the younger one used to draw all the time, even as a little kid, draw. And then it always seemed like it was good, but I figured, all right, I'm being a dad, and I'm just thinking she's better than she is. And she always drew better than me, but actually, I suck at stick figures. But so that was no great accomplishment, and I really didn't have anything to gauge it by. But then she started getting recognized for her drawings and her works and stuff like that. So it seems like she has her own genius, and that's all from her mother's side, man, because there's not a creative bone in my body. And their mother is a musician and sings beautifully. I don't think she can draw, though. But I know her brothers draw and are musicians. Smart people. I think I bred up. So that's another tip for you single guys out there. If you're short, find yourself a big chick. If you're a little slow in thought, find yourself a nerd. So, enough about you guys. Let's talk about me. Oh, my viewers count is going down. All right, I'll talk about something else. So what do you think, man? You think we're going to break this low in the afternoon? Should we take it? I'm going to do a poll. I saw you could do a poll here. I think I put a poll out there. I don't see it anywhere. I don't know how to track it. Nope, there it is. It popped up. And we have no participation. Oh, nope, still no participation. Okay, it's just sitting out there. So everybody out there, if you want to take that poll, let me know. Give me your vote if we break the low. Oh, we got a no. Oh. We're on both sides of the coin here. With 50 up, 50 down. Uh-oh, we're favoring the break. We'll let that sit out there and stew a little bit. For everybody who comes in, maybe they'll participate. See, that would be fun once we have like 1,000 viewers. And you know, the law of large numbers will get closer to the reality. But everybody's favoring the bear side of the market today. We should do that at the open. And really, we're not interested in if it's bearish or bullish, but consolidating or expanding. That's what I would question. Consolidating days, we really can't make money. Expanding days, we should be making lots of money. Lots of money. So see, we're consolidating here on the 5-minute, right? We're consolidating along this older opening range, and this is probably from a day or two. The white lines are today's opening range, and the yellow lines are from a day or two ago, and the blue lines I think are from last week. It's just we keep trading around these lines, so that's why I'm keeping them in there. So anyway, you see this, and you can consider this a good support right here. So on a good support on a quarterly trading day, you want to see in a lower tick a double bottom or a double top if it's a resistance. So here is the opening range support that we just spoke of, but we're just getting V bottoms. So it's not really, I mean, there are people who trade V bottoms. It's not an entry I would take. And then from 97 to 400, I mean, you got three points in it, which is $1.50 if you could capture it on the option. Ooh, it's getting hot quick. Wow, everybody's about the Friday. I'm not even getting texts. Only 3 people voted. Come on, participate. Oh, that wasn't even the low on the 30-second bar. Here's the low. Oh, so you could see a little trend reversal on that support. I mean, that would be hard to really catch. I mean, because it's so close and so tight. But you got a 94 entry there, and so you could have picked up 5 points on that if you clocked that bounce off of that that what we consider major support. And now we're testing it again. So this could be considered a good support. You'll break through. I mean, obviously there's congestion because we have the other opening. We have today's opening range low, but that might be a good entry with a tight stop to try to see if we break that, and then, you know, get a bloody march down. So this is what we're looking to break right there, which is the 93.53, 93.42, and you could just put your stop. Well, that's like 7 points, man. That's big doings. You could just trail one bar really with your stop if you wanted a conservative stop to see if it goes right through. Might bounce back in your face. This is starting a downtrend, so really your stop should go back up here at the 400 mark. Hasn't triggered either. I'm going to give that poll 10 minutes. If nobody else jumps on in 10 minutes, we'll close it out. Right now it stands 67% of the voters think that we break the low. One till I made it. Where do we say that we have a problem here? I don't think I would get defensive for another 20 points to the downside. Nope, there it goes. It's breaking that 93.42. Come on. Little more. Oh, and rejected. mean, if it breaks that, you still have 4 points to the next resistance. I mean, that could be your one-off and then go to a break even. I'm thinking that's going to happen. Come on. I'm loading up the 390s. I'm in. Got my stop above that bar. No, that's the second move on it. No, he just does not want to do it. So that's a double test on that resistance, so that's a really good resistance right there. Be careful with that trade if you went long some puts. Composites bouncing up, Dow is bouncing up, Russell is bouncing up. It's all dragging the S&P up. Oh, we got more votes. All right, 75% of the voters say that we break the low this afternoon. Cool. Thanks for participating. That was fun. We'll do it again sometime. The 50-day EMA. Well, we're gaining resistance on the, we're getting resistance on, I believe this is my 8th period. Yeah, I have an 8 EMA that's creating resistance right now. Oh, there you go. Yeah, that's pretty aggressive, that 282, but yeah, that's not impossible. I'm looking more at my 20 EMA, or really I'm expecting like a 325 or 310 number, 41 310. But I mean, yeah, you know, the 50 is right there. I mean, if you move down to 41 310, it's just 30 more points to 85, so not impossible. Just flirting with that 93.42. Yeah, we got. I figured you brought him with you, Mr. Daughter. Yeah, we're actually looking at the same thing. We just had a poll right there that we're going to break the low for the afternoon. Um, and I'm feeling it, you know. I mean, we're only 4 points off right now. If we break this 93.42, then our next resistance is 89.65. And then away we go. I think like the 73 range is not unheard of or inconceivable. We might hit a little resistance around 87, but after that should be a solid drop. Could be a head fake. We're in a short right now on the break of the 93.42. We took that break probably about 10 minutes ago. I'm actually squeezing my stop a little bit because it's just not accelerating. The 30-second momentum has a divergence on it, as does the 1 minute. Actually, based on that, I'm closing it. I'm break even on the position and I'm closing it. It's just teasing us. I mean, we've come into lunch now, so there's really, yeah, I mean, there's just nothing going on. And it's Friday. People are packing up and heading to the Hamptons. awkward kind of head and shoulders. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it a head and shoulders. More of a trend reversal right here. I like that though. What is that low? I'm going to take that break at that low. Get down, get down. You know what? This is just dragging out over here. It's losing momentum. All right, I'm done for the day. I just keep looking for a trade, and I don't want to trade like that. I would watch for a break of the low. I mean, you could watch for a break of the high. I don't think I would be trading inside the range. The market is just seems like it's just consolidating. But if it breaks that low, it's probably going to make a pretty good move to the downside. So that's what I'm going to keep my eye on this afternoon. You guys do the same. I'm a little iffy on the EOD, the end of the day wrap up today. I don't know if I'll be able to get it done. I want to start packing up the boat, getting it ready for my not being here so that I can head up into the mountains for a little while. Everybody who's new, hit the subscribe and hit the bell. If I do drop the end of the day wrap up, everybody will get a notification. I mean, I'll probably do it over the weekend if I don't do it this evening, you know, once I'm back up in the mountains. You're very welcome, Jeff. So hit the bell and hit the subscribe and hit the like, because it goes a long way, which I see lots of people have given me a like today. Join me Monday. We'll be streaming between 9 and 12 and try to get a few trades, and I could explain my trades. I'm happy to break them down and talk about it. Yep, that's what I hear. I'm looking forward to it, those 50-degree evenings and getting some good sleep. But thank you, Kerry. You guys have a nice weekend too, and I'll talk to you Monday. Good luck trading.